This is a story about two families and one weekend in June. One family stood on a balcony and waved. They asked the public for nothing in return. The other family shared a quiet morning at home, and they quietly attached a price to it. Same season. Two very different ideas of what a family is for. One waved for free, the other was building a storefront. The balcony was free. The home, it turned out, was open for business. In the next few minutes, here is what we will lay out, what Meghan Markle actually posted this year, how her private life keeps arriving with a product attached, and the one receipt that almost no one connected to it because this spring, her biggest business partner stepped away. That timing matters. Let us check it together. First, the context. You may remember when Meghan launched her lifestyle brand. It began as American Riviera Orchard. Then it was renamed As Ever. The first collection arrived in April of 2025. It sold jam, honey, tea, wine, and candles, small, pretty, everyday things. And from the very start, the brand had a powerful friend, Netflix. The streaming giant was not just airing her cooking series. Netflix was an actual equity partner in the brand itself. The show launched the name. The shop launched the products. They were built to work together. Now here's the thing about a lifestyle brand. It does not really sell objects. It sells a life. It sells the feeling that if you buy the jam, you get a small piece of the world it came from. So the product is never only the product. The product is the home. The product is the morning light. The product is the marriage at the breakfast table. If you have watched that same palace balcony for 40 years, you already know the other way it can work. You never paid to look. The wave was the whole point. Nothing was for sale. That contrast is where this gets interesting. Because for a lifestyle brand to work, the private life cannot stay fully private. It has to become the advertisement. Every candle, every quiet moment, every glimpse of home has to do two jobs at once. It has to feel personal. And it has to sell. That is not a crime. Plenty of people build brands this way, but it leaves a viewer with a fair question. When you see one of these moments, are you watching a memory or are you watching inventory? Keep that question in your pocket, because the next part is where the pattern starts to show. Let us start with something recent. In early June, Meghan shared a new photo. She looked polished, a white shirt, jeans, a black necktie. The caption was about hosting. She talked about how she sets the mood at home before guests arrive. She mentioned lighting candles. It read like a warm, private host sharing a tip. But here is what that post actually was. It was an advertisement for As Ever. The mood, the home, the marriage in the frame of the story, all of it was attached to the brand. This is the receipt. A private moment at home, published as a product post. The home is the showroom. And the candle she lights for guests is also the candle you can buy. To be fair, this is normal for the genre. A lifestyle founder shares her life. That is the job. But notice what it does to the moment. It stops being only hers. It becomes ours to purchase. And once you see that, you start seeing it everywhere. Go back to January of this year. Meghan and Harry made their debut at the Sundance Film Festival, a big public joint appearance. That same weekend, the As Ever account posted a photo of her in a long sundress and a wide-brimmed hat. The caption celebrated simplicity at its sweetest. Look at the timing, a major public appearance, a brand post landing in the same window, the personal moment, and the product, holding hands. Once is a coincidence, twice is a habit. A pattern is just a habit you can predict. You can, in their defense, founders promote when the spotlight is on. That is smart business, not a scandal. But the spotlight keeps falling on the same spot. The life and the label keep arriving together. And that brings us to the part most channels skipped this spring. Remember the balcony. The balcony was free. This is the part that never was. Here's the receipt almost no one connected to the home photos. In early March of 2026, Netflix and As Ever ended their partnership. The streamer pulled its investment out of the brand. Both sides were polite about it. Netflix called it always intended. The brand said it was ready to stand on its own. That is the public language. Now look at the timing underneath it. Not long before, the partnership had been publicly widened to bring As Ever in further with a bigger product line. They expanded the deal Then the partner left. You do not usually widen a door in the autumn and walk out of it by spring unless something changed, and something did. The cooking series saw its second season fall off sharply. Reports said there would be no third. The couple's larger production deal had already been trimmed the year before, so the picture is not a brand on a rocket. It is a brand whose most powerful partner quietly stepped back. If you want the receipts, other channels skip. The like button genuinely helps this reach more people. Now hold the two halves together. On one side, more and more of the private life is being posted as product. On the other side, the biggest money behind that product just walked away. The storefront is getting more personal, the backers are getting more nervous. Those two facts do not usually sit together for long. This is the pattern, plainly stated. A platform partner arrives with money and noise. The launch sells out and the headlines glow. Then engagement cools, the partner exits, and the next launch arrives anyway. We have watched a version of this before. A Spotify deal that ended after one season. A streaming relationship that kept shrinking. The shape repeats. And now, in my opinion, the most telling sign of all. As of this week, some critics are openly asking whether the brand can survive the year. That is a claim from reports, not a confirmed fact, and I want to be clear about that. But here is what is not in dispute. The biggest partner is gone, and the private life is working harder than ever to fill the gap, because here is the quiet truth under all of it. When a family moment carries a price tag, it stops being a memory and starts being inventory. Now let us be genuinely fair, because this channel checks both sides. There is a clean, reasonable reading of all this. Meghan may have wanted full control of her own company. Netflix called the split a natural next step. Sources close to her say she felt the brand was held back and that she is relieved to own it outright. Those are not the words of a sinking ship. They are the words of a founder taking the wheel. And the products do sell. Items have sold out in minutes. A lifestyle brand using its founder's life is not a trick. It is the entire model. Martha Stewart did it. Many others did it. By that standard, Meghan is simply playing the game well, so the critical view is not the only view. The kind of reading is sitting right next to it. You are allowed to hold both. So where does that leave us? Not at a tidy ending. The honest answer is that this story is still moving. Here is the question, sharpened as far as it will go. One family spent a weekend showing family as duty. No product, no checkout, just a balcony, a wave, and a crowd. The other built a year showing family as content, a home, a candle, a caption, and a link. Neither of those is automatically wrong, but they point in opposite directions. One treats the family moment as something you give, the other treats it as something you sell, and the market has started to vote. The biggest partner already voted with its feet. So the real question is not whether Meghan will copy a hair bow. That is small. The real question is bigger and slower. Can a brand keep selling the private life faster than the private life runs out? Can the storefront stay open when the warmest moments are already on the shelf? The balcony was free. The home is for sale. We are about to find out which one lasts longer. Here is what I want from you in the comments. Not about the children. Leave them out of it. I am asking the grown-up question. In your own life, where is the line between sharing your family and selling it? Some of you will say there is no line, that a founder can use her own life however she likes. Others will say a family is the one thing that should never carry a price. Both answers are fair. Tell me where your line sits, and subscribe so you do not miss what this pattern does next.